What is up, everyone? Good morning and happy Saturday. Hope y'all are having an awesome, spectacular day. Had to take care of a few errands this morning. I'm ready to go, and I'm here to have some fun again today like I did yesterday. It was great seeing all of you here yesterday, and it was really fun talking to someone new and just like hearing something different. It's cool talking to someone that was from the Philippines of all places. What's up, Retro? Yeah, so I hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday morning so far. I know it's been kind of a little rough one this morning for me, but overall it's pretty good. Can't complain. I was able to wake up and all that. Oh, nice. Congratulations there, buddy. I appreciate you coming by, and that's awesome you were able to get something sold. It's always a good thing when you can make money first thing on a Saturday, so that's a blessing right there. So as for today, it'll be like similar, just like mental health check-in, and then talk about just random things, I guess. Anyone have big plans for the weekend, or any new exciting games you guys are looking forward to coming out? Stuff like that. Eventually, like I said, I want to try to get into playing Black Ops 6 once I'm able to get it. That's going to take a little bit of time. Uncut war with this one nerd. They started at 100 G's and we undercut each other for a while. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's awesome, dude, that you're able to do that. Like, congrats. That's huge. Because, like, sometimes negotiating is really, really tough. That's like the hardest thing in the business world is negotiations, people. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, businesses, when it comes to negotiations, like, it's tough because you don't know what that other person's thinking and all that kind of stuff. Oh, nice. Like, yeah, like, negotiations, that's a headache. I know how that is. Like, I've had a friend of mine he runs his own kind of like business where he builds gaming rigs for people, and like there's someone that's literally trying to negotiate a price with him, and he's just like, no, my prices are set what it is. And my buddy, he's been doing it for a long time. He does it just mainly because he's good at it. That's what he knows. Like, he understands how gaming rigs work. He's been gaming on PC ever since he was like in high school. So like, he understands everything. Like, he knows the technology of it. He knows what the best things are for the rigs. And like, someone was trying to get at a lowball price, which he wasn't about to do that. Absolutely not. Like, he may do it for like family or friends, like close family and friends, but he's not gonna just do it outright, just mainly because it affects his business. And a lot of people don't understand business. You're there to make money, and you can't just keep allowing lowball prices to happen to you, because like the second you keep doing lowball numbers, you're going to end up going belly up. So sometimes you got to put your foot down and just say, hey, my price is what it is. If you want to go cheaper, then that's your choice, but don't expect top quality work done on your rigs, because some of these big companies, they literally try to put these rigs fast, try to sell them. There's no love and care put into it, where like my friend, he puts 100% focus onto every rig he builds. Like, that's all he knows. Like, and he does it like he would his own rig. That's how he sets up other people's rigs. So like, he takes it very, very serious. Like, that's a business. And then on top of that, like, he knows how to fix consoles as well, because he's fixed his own consoles and all that kind of stuff. When he used to have an Xbox 360 and all that, he used to take it apart, clean it, put it back together all the time, and it worked like it was brand new constantly. And then he just got more into gaming on the PC, which that is the best like thing for me, is when I went to PC. Ever since, I don't want to get a console. I don't want to touch a console, just because most of the games that are on consoles are on PC as well. Like, you can't beat that. The only game I wish was on PC that isn't is NHL 25. Like, I really wish it was on PC, because I'd love to be able to play the NHL games. But I understand why it's not, because NHL and EA Sports, they kind of don't want people modding the game, because some people do mod stuff where like they're able to do something with their characters or whatever it is. So like, yeah, I totally get it and I understand how that is. As far as like gaming aspect, like I'm looking forward to like eventually getting back into like playing Diablo 3 a little more again. Like, I'm probably gonna get away from doing game streaming, you guys, and focus more on like these type of podcasts, because I just feel like it's more entertaining and it helps with my public speaking a lot better, where like I can focus 110% of my focus is on you guys, instead of like gaming, and then when someone comes in I miss their high or whatever, I feel bad, and by the time I respond it's already too late, they already left. So like, I want to kind of slowly get away from gaming streaming. I may do it on occasions, but as of right now, I'm going to turn over a new page and just do the podcasting aspect of things and just chat, just mainly because I feel it's good to talk about things, get things off your chest. Like, even like if there's something that bugging you and you just want to just type it and get it out there, like, I'm here to read it and hear out how you feel, just mainly because it's important to like get things that bother you out of your system, because the second you just keep bottling up your emotions, bottling up things that bother you, you're gonna eventually get more and more depressed, and you're just not going to want to improve yourself. So it's important to improve yourself by talking whatever it is that's bothering you, get it out of your system. If you're not the talking type, journal it. Sometimes journaling helps out quite a bit, believe it or not. Like, it may sound very high schoolish, but it still works as an adult, just journaling. Like, it's important to write down how you feel or what you're going through. If you don't want to just journal about how you're feeling, turn it into a poem. Like, write a poem about it. There's a lot of things I used to write. Like, I'd write poems. Like, just literally write poems, just because back when I was in like junior high school, I used to write raps. I used to do all that kind of stuff because I was wanting to be a rapper at one point, and then as I just got older, I just grew out of that, where I just didn't want to rap. Someone that I looked up to that was being my mentor was going to help me get it. He ended up losing his life, so I just decided, like, yeah, I'm done. Like, I'm not going to do this anymore. So that part of me died when he died. So like, I don't write raps anymore. Like, I'll make beats. That's as far as connected I'll stay with the hip hop music is by making beats in FL Studio, but as far as like rapping, I won't do it. I just don't want to do it. It just brings back too many painful memories of that. And then on top of that, like music, I love music. Like I make a lot of different kind of music. I don't just make hip hop beats in FL Studio. I even make music that just comes out of raw emotion. Like I've made music that based off of nightmares that I've actually had. Like I have one song that I posted in like my Discord server. It's called Dark Carnival. Like it's something that I wouldn't mind pitching it to like Rob Zombie if I was able to have that chance to meet him. I think he'd probably like it, so that way if he ever decide to direct a movie about like a dark carnival type movie where there's killer clowns going around everywhere, I think that song will be like a perfect fit. Then like I've done other kind of music as well, so like it's a lot of fun. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I like Planet Coaster. That looks like such a fun game. Like I've watched a lot of people do videos on that on like YouTube, and it's a lot of fun seeing the imagination of people, how they come up with things. Like it's so fascinating. Like I love creativity. I love when people aren't scared to be creative. Like that's the reason why like I love sometimes watching Minecraft streamers. Like the creativity that they put into like building a house or building like a castle or something. It's amazing. Like it blows my mind, like the creativity that goes on in their thought process of this is how I'm going to construct it, this is what I'm going to put into it, this is what I'm going to add on to it. Like it's phenomenal. Oh wow. that's amazing there, T. That's awesome, man. Yeah, like I love creativity. Like it's so fun. Like, and I realize the more creative people are, the more ambitious they are. Like the more I've been dapping back into making music and like wanting to do this, I'm really tapping more into like my creativity. I'm trying to like really think about like how much other things I could probably tap into and try to like bring people's spirits up. Like that's one of my goals, is to just like be able to do this full time and like be there like a source of like support. Like if people just need someone to talk to, they can just be like, hey Nick, I need to talk to you about something, I'm going through this and this, and I'll hear them out. Like I'm one of those people, I like to help people any way I can, but if it's something like, if I feel like it's too much for me to handle, I will really tell you and advise you should seek like a professional for it. Like, because I'm no way, shape, or form a professional. Like I still recommend, like if your depression or any type of mental illness is that severe, you should really go see your counselor or your psychiatrist or your psychotherapist, just because they're going to be able to help you a little more than me as a stranger. Oh yeah, definitely. I wouldn't mind coming by, seeing you pop up like the Planet Coaster. Like I love that. I love the creativity that people do with that. Like it's the same thing like some of those other Sims that where people build and create things. I love watching that stuff. Like I like that skyscraper simulator thing. Like some of the skyscrapers these people build, like it just blows my mind. I'm just like, wow, like the creativity that just goes in their mind of how they're constructing it. I'm like it just blows me away. I'm just like, wow, like Like, I wish my thought process would think like that, or I'm like, I wish I was that talented to just construct stuff like that. That's why, like, I'm bad at simulator games. Like, that's one thing I just can't play because I'm just terrible. Like, if they, like, especially Minecraft, like, when it comes to going around, like, killing, like, the creepers or zombies, I can do that just fine. Or the witch or whatever, I'm fine with doing that. But when it comes to building, forget about it. You're not going to see it happen. My way of building would be just put a bunch of bricks up around, just have one little opening for a door, and that's it. That'd be the full extent of my building skills in Minecraft. And then, like, yeah, I'm probably one of the worst people to do all that. And even that is not a bad idea. Just dig a hole and live in the hole. Exactly. And then, like, when it comes to Fortnite, I just go around and shoot people. I don't care about building stuff. I don't care. I'm just trying to go in and get the kill and survive as long as I can. Like, a lot of times it works for me, and sometimes it just doesn't. I just get outright taken out by a person and their partner. Like, it's funny. And a lot of times I like just going on my own. Like, even though I start with like a group, I'll just go leave and go do my thing. Just mainly because every time it seems like I get paired up with like a team, they have no idea what the heck they're doing. So I just leave. I'm like, all right, I'm going. They have like no strategy in mind, so I just leave. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. That's a long time. 15 years. Wow, that's a super long time to be doing something like that. Wow. Like, that's awesome. Like, but eventually, like, I'll get back into like playing Warzone eventually. It's just I stopped playing that. It's just because I just feel like it's just so toxic in there. Like, I'm one of those people, I don't like going into like toxic games, and COD a lot of times is a very toxic game. I'm not gonna lie. Like, even like the multiplayer, you get paired up with people who have no idea what they're doing. They have no strategy. Like, the other night I was doing the 24-hour shipment on Modern Warfare 3, and like, there's this one person that was on the opposing team using an RPG. Like, there's no need to be using an RPG on a small map like that. I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, that's just outright stupid. Like, I understand, like, if it's like a big map, like like one of those warehouses, or like one of those like the grow house map, like, that makes sense to have like an RPG, or like that map where it was all those trains and stuff. Like, yeah, it makes sense to use the RPG because it's a big map. But when it's such a small closed thing like shipment, it is just stupid to use an RPG. Like, because in reality, no one's going to use an RPG in a close proximity like that if it's a real battlefield. No one. Because you're going to take out not just those people, you're going to take out your entire platoon, your entire squad. Like, and that's the thing, like, a lot of these explosives, a lot of people don't realize, like, they're very powerful. So, like, that's the reason why, like, a lot of, like, what blows my mind is when people use that in COD, like, on these small maps. Like, shit, man, I just shake my head. I'm just like, that's just stupid. But, like, I understand, like, if you're on a big map, but on a small map like that, come on, people. I'm like, if you want to go small, then just use the grenade or the Molotov or something. Like, but, like, yeah, like, but I'm also gonna probably get back into playing like some Forza Horizon. I love those games. Like, I've played from Forza Horizon 3 pretty much unlocked most of the achievements on Forza Horizon 3. I've pretty much unlocked most of the achievements on Forza Horizon 4. I was kind of disappointed with Forza Horizon 5, honestly. That one wasn't really one of my top favorites, I'd have to say. To me, like, I was just disappointed with that. And as far as like that series, I hope the next Forza Horizon game is way better. And I heard a lot of bad things about the new Forza Motorsport. Like, a buddy of mine was telling me how terrible that one was, because he's played every single Forza game out there, like every single Motorsport, every single Horizon, like, and he said the new Motorsport was just trash in his opinion. And like, the only Motorsport I played was like the last one before this new one. That was like the last one I played. I like more the Horizon, just because you can go drive anywhere and just like go sightseeing pretty much and drive everywhere. Like, and I like to add a DLC. Like, sometimes I like going to like the Lego one and just crashing the Lego trees and all that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of fun. I love doing the drifting in that game. Like, it's literally one of my favorite things to do, is just drift into that game, crashing into like the trees and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like, that's one of my favorites. I'm getting more into like a lot of racing games as I'm getting older. When I was younger, I couldn't stand racing games. Now that I'm getting older, I'm actually enjoying racing games a lot more. Eventually, I'm going to get back to playing my Switch, playing Mario Maker 2, because I miss playing Mario Maker 2. Like, that's such a fun game. I miss trying people's stages that they made. Like, it's a lot of fun. I love playing like the troll levels. I love playing like the creative stages that aren't even troll levels. They're just regular normal stages. Sometimes I'll play the Kaizo stages, even though I suck at Kaizo levels. I'll still play them anyways, because it's a lot of fun. Like, and it's challenging, like, and it does help you become a better Mario player overall. I love those games. Like, I love retro games. Like, I love Streets of Rage. Like, I already heard the good news that eventually they're going to make a Streets of Rage 5, so I'm looking forward to that, because I really enjoyed Streets of Rage 4. That was such a enjoyable game. Like, I thought it was fun. They did a great job with the graphics on that game. Another game that I like retro-wise, like, I love playing the old classic Streets of Rage games. Like, one of my old streams, I was playing like Streets of Rage 2. That's like one of my all-time favorite Streets of Rage games. I love playing the Streets of Rage remake, which was made by like a fan. It's a fan-made game. Like, you can get it where you can play it on PC. It's a lot of fun. It's hard, but it's a lot of fun. Like, it's enjoyable. And even if you put it on easy, the easiest setting, that game is still hard. It's still tough. It's challenging. So, like, you'll have fun with it. And it's really interesting because you can choose different paths. So, like, when you get to like that scene in Streets of Rage 2 where like it's at that bar, there's two paths. So there's one where that one room where the person comes out, there's an arrow that goes in after you beat up one of the other characters. You can go in there, it'll turn to Streets of Rage 3 map. If you just keep going straight, you stay on the Streets of Rage 2 path. So, like, it's really cool. You can go on a different paths. You can go on the Streets of Rage 3 and then go back down to Streets of Rage 2 and then back up to Streets of Rage 3. So, like, it's really, really cool. Like, it's fun. I really recommend, if you're able to get a hold of that, definitely check it out. Like, if you're really interested in that, like, I could have my buddy hook you up with that, because, like, he knows how to get it. My buddy Flame MK, so like he has a lot of that stuff. So, like, he's a huge retro gamer, so he will definitely do it. Oh yeah, retro's right. Like you can play like different mods in there, and it's a hard game, but it's a lot of fun. I recommend it. Like I have to say that's one of the best stable fan made games out there for Streets of Rage. And there's a lot of different hacks. There's Streets of Rage hacks with like Street Fighter 2 characters, Mortal Kombat, you name it, they have it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But sometimes a lot of those have a lot of bugs that end up crashing, even when you start it up in RetroArch, or you start it up in like Dolphin or whatever retro thing that you use as your source of playing retro games on PC, whatever your emulator is. You got to make sure it's a lot of trial and error finding what emulator will work on that game. So like it's tough. But the Streets of Rage remake is not a emulator game, so like it's its own game within itself. So like that's the nice thing of that. You don't have to hit it up. You don't have to play it on the emulator. You just double click the icon and you just start playing. Like it's fun. I really recommend it. Oh, nice. So if you guys are interested in that Streets of Rage like remake, like contact my buddy Flame MK like over on YouTube, and he does have like a Twitch. You can whisper him and stuff and just like hit him up, let him know if you're interested in getting that and trying it out, and he'll try to get you a copy of it. Like it's a lot of fun. It's worth trying out. And you have to beat the game in order to unlock the store in there. So you have to beat the game. That's the only tough, challenging part. I have yet to beat it. It's just, and I eventually probably could. It's just I haven't had a lot of time to play that right now. So like it's really cool. And Flame just said like, yeah, you can make your own mods for it. So like definitely check it out. Like that game is definitely worth trying out. But like yeah, and then I do love playing like certain Sonic the Hedgehog hacks as well. There's a lot of different Sonic games that are made by fans. I like trying all the different Mario games made by people who make their own versions of Mario. Like a lot of the well-known ones are like Grand Poo World and stuff like that by well-known Mario streamers like Grand Pooh Bear, DRG Dave, Carl Sagan, and a lot of those guys. I really recommend you guys go check those guys out. Like even like if you like watching like Mario Maker 2 streamers, like especially on Twitch, go check out Archer. Like he's awesome like at playing those games. Like he plays everything on like the hardest setting on that game. Like he's really good at it. He'll play fan levels. He'll even like play with some of the viewers. So like it's really cool to see people like that do that, who are willing to do that. Like even like I'm willing to game with people. It's just right now I don't have like a big enough community to do a game night, but hopefully that'll change. Yeah, there are some cool open board games, but you gotta really be careful with some of those open board stuff. Unfortunately, just like certain ROM hacks, you gotta be careful of, because there may be like a hidden like virus in there. So like you have to be careful. Yeah, like sorry, I'll have to respond to like a text real quick. Yeah, like that's as far as like gaming wise goes. I definitely wanna also like start watching movies again, get back into watching some good movies, TV shows, and maybe talk about those things. And some days I actually want to get back into doing more like spreading the word of God, like the gospel, and doing all that kind of stuff. Like, I feel it's important to do that. So, like, definitely feel free to join my Discord server. It's free. You'll get to meet people like me, Flame, in there. Like, a lot of times you'll catch us in general voice chat, just chatting. Everyone's always welcome to come hop in and chat with us. We won't bite your head off or anything. Like, we just have a lot of fun, like just chatting and all that. Yeah, and I also posted a link in on my Twitch channel as well for those of you who are in Twitch. The link has already been posted on in the YouTube side, but like definitely you guys, like, you're more than welcome to come. Like I said, you'll catch us chilling in general, just in voice chat, talking. We'll talk about games. We'll talk about WWE things, AEW. If you guys are big wrestling fans, we talk a lot about wrestling as well. We're big wrestling fans. I grew up watching people like Stone Cold and The Rock, Booker T. Like, I love watching wrestling. I still love it. Even though I don't watch it as much as I'd love to, it's tough right now for me to watch certain things. Yo, what up, APRV? That's my boy Kush in the house. So if any of you looking to get a gaming rig built, that's the guy to hit up. He'll build you a good rig, but he will set the pricing. You just need to tell him what kind of parts you're looking for, and he'll build it for you. He knows everything about that stuff. He's the brains of the operation of that. And he's the one that helped me get good at COD 2, believe it or not. That's the reason why we carry on that APRV name. Hey, how's it going, ASD? Yeah, definitely. So, like, I'm really looking forward to just, like, doing more of these kind of streams. Like I said, I'm going to get away from streaming video games. I'm just going to do podcasting. I feel this is where it's at. I can focus more on, like, talking, reaching people, trying to help people if they need someone to talk to. And yeah, like I really like being able to be a source of support of, like, hearing people, like, if they're depressed or they just need someone to talk to, or like if you need a prayer, I'm more than happy to pray for you. That, like, I just love being able to give. Hopefully one day, like I said, I can do this full time and not have to clock in to do the 9 to 5. Just mainly because I just can't stand doing it anymore because of my autism. Like, I'm really starting to, like, lose energy to wanna just get up early every morning, go into work, just mainly because, like, I'm really starting to get so frustrated and stressed to the point where like I just don't want to do much. Like it's made me stay like a hermit as well, where like once I get home I don't even want to try to find a date or talk to a woman. And that, to me, like that's just, for someone my age where I'm still young, like it's kind of sad. That's the reason why I want to try and change things. Like I'm slowly trying to get back in like the dating scene. It's tough right now, just mainly because of, not just because of being 42. It's just I've stayed single for 20 years, so like I'm really out of the loop in dating. So I don't know much about that. Like I can give advice of my experiences, but as far as trying to hook up with someone, don't ask me how to do it, just mainly because it's changed so much. Before it was easy for someone to just go up and say, hi, how are you doing, can I do this? As soon as you approach, they're met with rejection. So like that's why it's just gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, so be it, whatever, I'll just move on to the next one. But yeah, I feel this is my calling, just doing podcasting, just chatting, talking about different things, talking about the world, talking about how we can better ourselves as an individual person, how we can strive to just be thankful for what we have in life as well. Like yesterday, like during that podcast, is like I said, it was awesome talking to someone that lives in the Philippines, and like where we don't see what goes on the other side of things in the world. Like we're very cut off of all that, just because the media only wants to allow us to see what they want us to see. They don't want us to see everything else that's going on in the world. So just remember, as you're watching the news, take it with a grain of salt. And I'm telling this because don't believe everything that you hear on the news, what you read in the newspapers, because most of the time it's not true. They leave out a lot of things that come to light later on down the road. So keep an open mind on those things, you guys. Like, don't buy into everything that you hear, because a lot of times it's not true. So just be aware of it. Be smart. Don't be dumb. Don't turn the other cheek. Like, really be open-minded to what's going on. Exactly. Everything's controlled by the media, and they want you to be sheep. They don't want you to be the shark exploring things. They want you to be a caged in sheep, not believing in anything else but what they tell you. So be open-minded. Open your eyes, because you may think these people have the best interest for you. They do not. They're there to spread very minimal truth. They're there to spread more the lies than the truth. So just be aware of that, people. I'm not going to get too much in deep in that, just because this is social media platform still, and I want to be respectful of the TOS guidelines of both Twitch and YouTube. So just remember, people, just be careful, because they're using AI to catch everything now. They're even using it to give people strikes. So just be aware of that. Yep, like if I were to bring up my buddy APRV here, we'd probably get kicked off of both platforms. There's a lot of things we'll talk about off stream that would get us TOS so fast that it would make everybody's head spin, because we don't sugarcoat things. Like, we tell it like we see it. Like, we're not gonna tuck our tail between our legs when it comes to that. And like, there are certain things, yeah, we'll say things, it may offend people, or people may open their ears and go, yeah, there's some truth to that. Speaking of VPNs, this is a great subject. So there's a lot of rumors going around behind how they don't want VPNs being used. I know our government is slowly working on trying to make VPNs illegal. That's some rumor going on, some speculations on that, but yeah, there's a lot of reasons for it. I'm not gonna get into it, just so you know, like, but there is, just like the whole TikTok being banned tomorrow. I'm not surprised by it. I'm really not. Like, nothing ever surprises me, because everything is on an agenda with governments. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna do too much talking bad about the governments, because each of them I don't need to do it, because they already show it on their own part. But yeah, it's amazing, because now at least I don't have to worry about hearing why can't I find a good man, and oh, I went on this date and this man did this. And then I don't have to hear the guy going, oh, I went on this date and this woman wanted me to pay for her kids and blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, I don't care. Like, I don't want to go on any social media platform and hearing people complain about a date. Like, if you really want to, alright, I'm going to put my foot down, because it's really getting annoying every time I go on, not just TikTok, even here on YouTube, even on like Facebook. I'm seeing a lot of this. Instagram. If you're not happy with your relationship status and you go, oh, why can't I find a good man? Take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Look into your own eyes and deepen within your soul and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? What is wrong with me? What do I need to work on? What do I need to do to become a better person that's going to be suitable for the so-called I want a nice guy? Because chances are that nice guy you wanted, or that wanted you, but you just want to be friends, you friend zoned that nice guy, that good guy that you claim and talk about you want. So the second you friend zone that guy, don't expect that guy to wait for you anymore, because they're going to move on. They're going to just go find somebody else. And same thing with the guys. Alright, there's a lot of guys that I want to call manginas. These are guys that act like women. They don't have the courage to put their foot down and get what they want. So they want to play the nice guy and be a simp. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get the woman you want by being a simp. Because those kind of women want a man, not a simp. Simp to them are little boys. They're just little boys that don't have the courage or don't have the guts to do anything. Plain and simple. And they're acting more like alpha. They try to act like they're an alpha, but they're not. Because alphas don't simp. Neither do sigmas. Sigmas and alphas, we don't simp. That's just not our style. And you're not going to find a simp within us. Alphas, they will go after you, but at the same time, they're not going to simp for you. I'm telling you that right now. If you think they're going to simp for you, ladies, you have a reality call coming to you. And if you want that 1% of the population of men that are multimillionaires, sorry, you're not going to get it, because you don't have what they want. And that is loyalty, honesty, integrity, respect, self-respect. Because if you don't self-respect yourself enough, and it shows, ladies, within you. Every time you go on TikTok bashing about saying, why can't I find a good man? It's because you yourself don't have any self-respect. That's the bottom line. If you want respect, you must self-respect yourself. If you can't respect yourself, no one's going to respect you. Same thing with you guys. If you can't respect yourself, no woman's going to respect you. If you can't love yourself, no woman's going to love you. Vice versa, if a woman can't love himself, no man's going to love him. It's a vicious circle. It's a vicious cycle. And life is literally, really survival of the fittest. Only the fit survive. And if you're not fit, you're not going to survive. And if you allow everyone to get into your head and feed you with all the BS of you're not good enough, you're allowing them to win. So the best thing to do is don't listen. If someone says, oh, you're not going to amount to anything, or you're not good, ignore it, because only you will know whether you're good enough, not them. Only you will. And it shouldn't matter what they think. It should matter what you think of yourself. Because in the end, it's about self-care. It's about self-respect. It's about self-esteem, not the other person. And that's the reason why, it's important. Sometimes, relationships are overrated, but sometimes it's important to find that right person that matches what you're looking for. And I do believe there is someone out there for everybody. I know there's someone out there for me. I know there's someone out there for my buddy APRV. But it's just we have a lot of, some of us do have too high of demands, too high of standards, and sometimes we do need to lower those standards, but at the same time we know what we deserve. That's one thing that's never going to change. We know what we deserve. We know we deserve better, and I know I deserve better. I know I deserve something. And like I said, the reason why I've been single for 20 years was due to being cheated on, and I'm not going to deal with it anymore. The next relationship I do get into, if there's no honesty from the get-go, there's no communication, there's no trust, there's a lot of sneaky hiding, I'm pulling the plug. There is going to be no, let's talk. There's going to be no, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, there's going to be no, it was a one. No. I'm pulling the plug. That's it. Because I'm not going to go through heartbreak ever again. I already went through it, and I'm not going to do it again. Yeah, and that is very true. Unfortunately, what APRV is saying on YouTube, you guys, the downfall of man is almost always caused by either pink, green, or both. And as people may get the gist of what he means by that, he's talking about money, and he's also talking about the other thing. So we're not going to get anything sexual thing like that, just mainly because I want to keep things respectful on terms of service. But yeah, like, people, like, the relationships, yeah, it's tough, but I know there's someone out there for me, and there's someone out there for APRV, but it's hard to find that right now, like, because of how bad society has gotten, where people turn to TikTok, YouTube, Instagram to bash on certain things and go, oh, I went on this date and blah, 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 and he didn't even pay for me, this, and that. Okay, for one, why are you expecting the guy to pay for you? If you yourself are saying that, oh, I'm an independent woman, I don't need no man to pay for my things. But here you are, you're going on social media saying, oh, he didn't pay for me, but yet you want to go around talk about, I can pay for myself. See, this is where I'm getting at. Like, if you want a man to pay for you, then don't go around saying, oh, I'm a strong, independent woman, I can do this, this, and this. Yeah, it's good. You can do those things. That's awesome. Congratulations. But if you expect a man still to pay for you, you're delusional. That's all I'm going to say. You're delusional. And you need to seek professional counseling, because that is very unhealthy thinking, in my opinion. And like, I'm old school. I'm old fashioned. I will hold the door for a lady. I will hold the door, and I will be polite in that aspect. But if I'm not dating you and you ask, oh, can I borrow some money, or can you buy this for me, and we're not dating, or you're not, even if we're friends, I'm not going to borrow you money, because hell, I don't know whether you're going to pay me back or what I'm going to get out of it. Like, what's the good in that? And then vice versa, I'm just like, why would I want to ask you for money or borrow money? Like, it just doesn't work. Like, and this is the problem with, like, today's world. Like, everyone tries to use everyone. Like, there's no common ground on trust or anything, and it's sad. It's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion. And this is why a lot of us single men stay like a recluse. We stay inside our home, and y'all complain about, oh, I don't like when a guy is living at home or this and that with their parents or whatever. I'm like, do you even know that that guy could have probably maybe a severe learning disability where they can't live on their own? Have you ever thought about that? Or they may have some kind of disability that requires to be around someone just in case the emergency does happen. Vice versa, same thing. If a man's going to complain about a woman still living at home with their parent, hey, they could have a serious problem. They could have a serious learning disability that they have to have that attention. They have to have that kind of protection, security. And it's not that they don't want to live on their own. It's not that I don't want to live on my own. But with my autism, I have no choice, but I have to be around my parent. Just mainly because of the fact that there's certain things that I may not understand, where my parent will understand that. So that's why, like, a lot of people who have autism, or they have Down syndrome, or any type of, like, serious learning disability, a lot of times that's why a lot of them stay with their parents. It's not that they don't want to go live on their own. It's just there's certain things they don't understand and can't grasp certain things. And it's not that they don't want to. And it's not that they choose to want to stay. It's better for their sense of their mental psyche, just because they're around familiar faces. And if they go off, it causes them to go into a panic mode. Like, I don't have a problem living by myself. I don't care about that. It's just the other reason why I choose to stay with my parent is because they have health problems. So I have no choice. I put that over a relationship. I don't care. Like, let's say something happens. I'm at least here to help, if just in case for that emergency, because I don't have any other family members that live close by if something happens. No one's going to be there. So that's the reason why I choose to stay with my parent. It's not that I want to, it's because I know I need to. And I understand a lot of things. I'm sharp because I like to educate myself. But at the same time, I'm only living with my parent just because of the fact that it is important, because the health problems. And I don't know, anything could happen because my parent is over 70. So anything could happen at any second. And that's the reason why I do what I gotta do. And that's the reason why I don't mind paying rent. I pay my parent rent, even though they say I don't have to. I do it anyways because I'm living under the roof. I help with some of the bills. That's the reason why I do what I gotta do. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's just being sheltered and this and that. No, it has nothing to do with shelter. There's people with serious disabilities or learning problems that they can't live on their own. They really can't. They need to have someone check on them, or they need to stay and live with someone because they're still irresponsible. And like, if you're gonna judge a man or a woman based on that, and that's the reason why you don't date that person, but there's chemistry there, then you gotta really get better moral values and better understanding, because to some people family is everything and family is important, and there's some people that just don't care about family at all. And that's the reason why, like, I stay single, just because I don't have time for games, but I also don't have time for people who are judgmental. So I just move on to the next thing. And then, like I said, like, life's too short to care about small things like that. And if that's all you care about, man, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, you're always gonna be unhappy. And that's life. You're always gonna be unhappy until you can make yourself happy. You're not gonna be able to make other people happy, and you're not gonna be able to make anyone else in general happy. And it's important to find something that makes you happy, whether it's gaming, whether it's reading, whether it's going to church, or whether it's something. Like, you gotta find something, because you're not gonna live forever. And I do feel slowly that the end of the world is coming. Like, it's very near. I believe it's very near. Like, I feel it, because it just feels so different every day when I wake up. Like, I'm thankful for every time I wake up in the morning, because I know that I'm alive, I'm breathing, like, I'm able to do this, like, I'm able to talk to all of you. And that's the most important thing. And that's the reason why I want to continue doing more, like, podcasting things instead of just gaming on stream, because I notice, like, I'm able to conversate with you guys instead of focusing on the game and not giving you viewers the attention that you deserve. And I feel you viewers deserve this kind of attention. You deserve to be acknowledged and talk to. Like, as in the words of Roman Reigns, acknowledge me. But yeah, and I want to be able to acknowledge you viewers, because without you, there's none of this. And like, just being here viewing helps, because like, I'm really pushing to get monetized here, and like, the more you guys sit here and watch, it really helps my view hours. Like, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful to all of you who've been tuning in from the very beginning, and everyone who's been here and like chatting. Like, it means a lot, and I don't forget those things. Like, the day like I can start getting over 1,000 people in here just watching, like, that's the time when I would really love to be able to give back. Like, that's something I want to give back. I want to like do like a giveaway or something, like the second I can get a steady source of support and all that kind of stuff from people. Like, that's when I definitely want to start giving back. And any type of support is great, like, because it can help me with bettering this content, and eventually I want to be able to like do this full time, where like I can do this instead of going to like a normal job. Like, that's like my ultimate goal. Like, that's one of my biggest goals I want to do. It's, to me, like, it'd be like the best thing. So like, it means a lot that all of you are here. But yeah, like, hopefully, like, if there's anything you want me to talk about, don't hesitate to just reach out to me and like say, hey, next time could you cover or talk about this subject. I would love to do that. Just pitch me a subject, I'll look into it, I'll investigate it, look into things, and start talking about it. Just keep things entertaining. Like, that's my goal. Like, so if anything, you guys have any type of like ideals you want me to discuss or talk about, whether it's about religion, the difference in these religions, I don't mind covering that. But at the same time, I also want to spread God's word as well, and just let people know that God is there, God is real, He's there wherever you are. Even if you're going through the darkest time in your life, He's there. He understands, and He feels your pain just as much as you felt His pain when He gave His life as a human. So like, just remember, like, you're never truly alone. Like, there's times like, yeah, we do get depressed where we think bad thoughts. Don't fall into those thoughts, because that's just the way for you allowing that evil darkness to win and take over. So don't allow that to happen to you. Try to fight it as much as possible, because I have to fight my demons every day. I fight it every day, but I will never allow it to win, because the second I allow it to win, I already just gave up, and I never plan to ever give up. Never give up, you guys. Like, always keep fighting the fight. Never give up. Like, self-deletion is never the answer. Like, self-harm is never the answer. Like, if you really feel like you're worthless, seek help. Seriously. Like, go talk to a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist or a counselor, and like, not only that, start paying yourself compliments. Start giving yourself self-care, because that is very, very important. Because without self-care, you're not going to have high self-esteem, and you're not going to have high self-value of yourself. You got to value yourself before others will value you, and before you can value others. Because without that, without that self-worth, without that, like, giving yourself that self-love to deposit into your self-emotional bank account, you're never going to be happy. So you really, really have to, like, believe in yourself. You have to love yourself, because without those things, no one else can love you back. No one else can give you what you want if you can't do that for yourself. So just remember those things, you guys. Like, and women too. Like, most of my viewers are men. That's the reason why I say that, because I have yet to interact with any female viewers. But if you are a female viewer and you're watching, don't be shy. Don't hesitate to type in chat. Like, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, just mainly because I'm not here to judge. I'm not. That's not my job. That's God's job to judge people, not mine. And, like, yeah, like, there'll be some times where we all do stupid things. We all do. We're not perfect. No one's perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. Because if there was such a thing as perfect, God would have planned it out that way. So we're not perfect. We're always gonna go through things. We're always gonna do things that might not make someone happy. And we do have to realize life is always gonna be full of disappointments. More disappointments than happiness. So just remember that. Like, even, like, I'm not gonna lie, this morning, like, as I was taking a shower for just no reason at all, I just broke down crying, just lost it. Like, it's hard for me to always put up, like, a straight happy face, just mainly because I've been through so much. Like, it's tough. Like, I've been through bullying, I've been through being cheated on, I've been through so much, like, that sometimes it's hard for me to let go. It's hard for me to, like, forgive. But, like, I'm trying so hard to, like, let a lot of that go and try to forgive. Like, yeah, I've had that ex try to contact me and I've been ignoring and avoiding it. But I think one day I'm just gonna message back and just tell her I forgive you, but I can't have any kind of relationship or friendship with you. And, like, that's probably going to be my goal, is to do that probably sometime next week. So that way I can actually move on and finally heal and turn the page of that chapter. And, like, I do recommend making those amends, but at the same time, put that stipulation in there, though. Just tell them I forgive you, but I can't be your friend, and we can't have any kind of relationship or contact. I wish you all the best. Take care. And then just move on, because there's no way to be friends with someone that hurt you already so bad. And I say this to both sides, men and women who've been cheated on. Like, it's better to forgive, but put that stipulation in there of we can no longer be friends, we cannot talk, we can't have any form of relationship. So you're gonna have to accept what you did and live with that decision, because it's not me to judge you for it. In the end, you're gonna have to face God's judgment on that, not me. So just remember, like, or if you are a viewer and you cheated on that person that you loved, my advice to you is ask God for forgiveness for your actions on what you did, because you got to remember, you damaged that person to the point where they will never open their heart up ever again. Like, I'm really scared to even want to try to open my heart up again, or even, like, get into, like, a relationship, because of what happened to me. It hurt so bad to the point where like I don't want to risk that chance ever again. Like it damaged me. Like especially like both I want to say this especially to married couples, be open with everything. Men and women, like husbands and wives, tell each other your insecurities so that way boundaries don't get crossed in that marriage. Because I watched a video today about how this woman destroyed her marriage of like something like 10 or 12 years, I can't recall, but she said, she was saying that it was a joke, but she said your size penis is too small and this and that. You can't say that to someone that you're married to and you love. You shouldn't even be joking about something like that, because that affects a man's manhood. Like it affects their feelings. It makes them feel less of a man because you attacked something that they can't physically change. Like, yeah, they can get surgery done for enlargement, but there's a lot of surgeons out there that says like there's a lot of side effects to doing that. Like sometimes it could cause ED, or it can cause permanent damage to where like they don't feel anything. So like it's not always a 100% satisfaction guarantee for the man either. So like those are also certain things. That's the reason why like I feel like if you're married, when you're newly married, tell each other your insecurities so that way you do not end up hurting each other where it causes the marriage to end. Be honest, and I recommend, like, especially if you are truly in love with that person, do not ever suggest an open relationship in the marriage, because most of the time if you think it's going to strengthen the marriage, I promise you a higher percentage of that ends in divorce. It really does. Like there's a higher percentage of divorce in that versus the married couple staying together. So just remember, like, you gotta really be truthful and honest with each other. That's the only way that marriage is gonna succeed. Because think about it. When you look back at your great-grandparents, your grandparents, and you wondering like, how did they stay married for so long? Because there was honesty there. They always talked with each other. It may not have been the glamorous type of marriage that people see now today, where like, oh, it's an expensive wedding, this and that. Back in the early 1900s, and then like some like during the 50s, there wasn't a lot of lavish weddings. Like most of those people couldn't afford a super fancy wedding, because especially my grandparents, they grew up during the Great Depression. Like they didn't have anything. My grandpa literally had to drop out of school and start working. Like he had no choice. And like my grandmother suffered through that as well. Like, and that's the reason why like a lot of people don't understand like how hard life really was back in the earlier times. Like life was way harder. Like people think now life is hard. Like, yeah, life can be hard, but nothing compared to back when our grandparents, great-grandparents, and their great-grandparents were living. Life was even harder back then. So just remember, like, we're spoiled compared to them. Like, back then, there was no such thing as computers. There was no such thing as video games, period. So, like, we need to be more open and respectful of what we have and be thankful, because back then they had nothing. Like, yeah, the cost of living was cheaper, but if you calculate it today, we wouldn't even be able to afford living back then. Like, even right now, we're all struggling to even survive because the cost of living keeps going up. So that's the reason why, like, it's very important to, like, be grateful and then start learning how to budget yourself better. And, like, my biggest piece of advice to you newer, younger generation: avoid credit cards. Do not get credit cards. Stay away from credit cards. There's other better ways to build your credit. Credit cards is not the thing to do that. If people think, yeah, but no. Because if you're not able to pay that back, the interest will come up to bite you in the ass. And that's what gets you, is the interest. So that's the reason why, like, I recommend to you new school adults, stay away from credit cards. There's a reason why this country is in so much financial debt. It's because of credit cards. And the fact that the government is allowing banks to keep pushing credit cards and pushing people to get credit cards, where they keep putting themselves in worse financial debt. Like, that's the reason why, like, I wish something bad could happen to those banks like that, like that push these credit cards. I'm not gonna say someone do something, but, like, I hope one of these days these banks get what's coming to them, trying to rob us of our hard-earned money, trying to, like, make us keep a certain amount in our bank account. Well, guess what? Keep pushing that, banks. I'll tell you right now, because eventually someone who's going to be a super smart millionaire is not even going to have a bank. They're just going to keep us safe. They're not going to waste their time letting you rob them of their money. So you banks better start doing better. That's all I got to say about that. Because you banks are a bunch of crooks, just like these insurance companies. All you companies think, all you care about is the money instead of taking care of these people. And you're punishing, especially the car insurance, you're punishing the good drivers by increasing their insurance premiums when it should be the other way around. You should be punishing the people who are causing these accidents. Just saying. Like, how did it become so backwards? Like, it makes absolutely no sense. Why should we have to pay for those who are causing these problems? Just saying. Like, you should be going after the people causing these problems, not going after the people who pay their insurance on time and all that. Like, it's ridiculous. But, like, yeah. But I hope y'all have a awesome day. Like, I'm probably gonna call the podcast today, but before I leave, I'm probably gonna get on the Twitch thing here and raid somebody on the Twitch side. Gonna see who's streaming on Twitch. Let's see who's all live that I wanna raid. Alright, I'm just gonna raid Charizard again, because he's a good person and he actually appreciates a lot of that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and start the raid and raid him. Appreciate everyone that tuned in today. Like, it means a lot. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Didn't work. The heck?